Well, I mean, I think the spread of misinformation is very dangerous, and that's why I allude to that in the earlier point, because what you find the reason why misinformation is so attractive to people is people are driven by their confirmation bias. People aren't driven to uncomfortable facts. People like things that make them feel as if they're right to feel about what they feel in the first place. That's why I think it's so difficult to spread that around.
That leads us nicely on to data ethics, though, and
Yes.
AI itself. So when we think about all these new innovations and, especially with sort of artificial intelligence, they learn from input. And, there was that old thing of when they put the Twitter account online and then people just started hammering it with sort of,
Was it
anti-Semitic,
was
racist
that
sort of
Microsoft?
tweets. Yeah,
Microsoft.
yeah. And it
Yes.
just turned into like the
Oh my
worst
god.
human ever that you could imagine.
It
So
was
like
shocking, wasn't it? Like it
data ethics are super important when it
yeah.
comes to this sort of thing. So I would just, again, it is just sort of to get your sort of ideas and your thoughts on it, because yeah, it scares
Well,
me a little bit that we rely on human input to teach something, and if that
yes.
human is somebody like a dictator, like a crazy person on Twitter, then the world's probably in trouble.
Well, I mean, I think the spread of misinformation is very dangerous, and that's why I allude to that in the earlier point, because what you find the reason why misinformation is so attractive to people is people are driven by their confirmation bias. People aren't driven to uncomfortable facts. People like things that make them feel as if they're right to feel about what they feel in the first place. That's why I think it's so difficult to spread that around. But getting on to I think the first part of this question of data ethics, I think that's where it lies, because, and I don't want to be controversial when I say this, but when you hear people like these headlines saying things like AI is racist or something like that, well, it's an algorithm that's under the hood. It's processing numbers.
Yeah.
What it has is biased data that's being fed into it. And I saw an absolute clanger the other day, and I'll say it straight up. Where I think some software had it was like a make my pro. It's really bad, right? Like made my profile picture more suitable for LinkedIn. Okay,
Oh no.
so an Asian person had uploaded their photo, and it basically adapted it so they were white. I
That's
mean, that is, can you imagine? Can you imagine if that was
uh,
your API that you'd put up there? And it was like, hey, how do you make me more employable?
that's
Be
really
white.
bad. But
And you're like,
that's true though.
that's
It's
it's
the input of information
yeah.
is, it's not the AI's fault that we're feeding in this sort of bias. It's not
It's
the
gonna say
technology or the AI that's doing it.
it's gonna be going through profile pictures on LinkedIn from a geographical area, and the majority of them are gonna be white, and it's gonna be a bias that's gonna put towards it. And that shows the importance of why you need to have the balanced data sets going up to it. Other
So there you have it. That is just a small clip of what we do on the Data Strategist podcast. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to watch the full video, it is just over there. Thanks very much, everybody, and I hope to see you again soon.